Sherry, tell me, what does living a fulfilled life mean to you? And has that definition changed? Has that definition changed for you?
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good one. For me, a fulfilled life is now that I'm living mainly in the Caribbean. I never say I'm never going to go back to London, but for now, this is where
Mm,
I am. Living a fulfilled life means that I've learned how to eat properly,
mm.
how to drink more water. I'm just saying that, ladies, because we're supposed to have at least 2 liters a day. I've learned to not stress. This is the thing for me. After working so many years in stressful situations, for me, I can't stress anymore. If it's making me stress, I'm not doing it, or I'll be late. Because I'm brought up British,
Yeah.
so I must be there at 5 o'clock, and then you get there and you're the first one because the people in the Caribbean seem to think five means six, and I'm sure it's the same where you are,
Yeah,
Victoria.
yes.
Um, so I'm learning not to stress so much, not to really take on other people. I'm giving you a list, really, not to take on other people's drama, because the
Mm,
more that you associate with people who have drama as their crown, then you find that it reflects on you. And please remember that
absolutely.
energy is what you surround yourself with. So my energy is to look at, if I turn to my left, I'm looking at the golf course, and people are playing golf, and the birds sit on the trees out there making noise at 4:30 and 5 o'clock.
Lovely.
Sometimes the monkeys go past, and you can see them with their fruit, and the whole family's going, appreciating the good things in life rather than the drama of people talking about
Hmm.
man this, and I can't do that anymore. So I relax when I want to, I sleep when I want to, and then I treat myself to
Yeah,
things,
yeah,
going out to lunches
yeah,
or dinners. It's about looking after you, and when things
yeah.
are not going right, I can do all things with the aid of Christ. I can do all things because my God is looking after me.
Amen. 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 100%. I absolutely love that. And I'm also, a big advocate for self-care. Self-care, sometimes people feel that when we want to take time out for ourselves, sometimes people can say that we're selfish. But I say we're not selfish, we're just putting self first. Self
Yes.
first. And I think
Yeah.
that's so important in terms of being able to live a healthy, well balanced, work-life balanced lifestyle. When we put ourselves first, because I think for so many years, especially for Black women, we haven't done that. I think of my mum's generation, it was all about husband, the
Oh,
children, and they didn't really, the focus wasn't on them. And I think
them.
now it's important.
It's important, really.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
if I could give you this scenario, Victoria,
yes.
just thinking about our parents, um, and I'm much older than you. I'm 71, going 72 in 2 weeks' time.
Wow.
Um, but the when we were growing up, I'm just thinking of a Sunday.
Yeah.
Um, on a Saturday, it's all the cleaning of the whole house, and then you go shopping, and it's bringing in all this stuff because you have to have the food in the house for Sunday, big Sunday dinner, and then for the rest of the week, because obviously she's going to work as well. Mother's going to work as well.
Right. Yeah.
So she has to have a plantain and a yam and whatever it is that you cook in the house. So she's doing all that, and the cleaning and the cutting up and the prep, and then Sunday everybody's got big dinners. Families sometimes pop in, and she is been standing at that cooker from hours cooking, making carrot juice drink or whatever it is that they used to make, or fresh lemonade.
Mm.
And nobody thought about them with a high blood pressure because they've been doing that
Yeah,
all day. Not
yeah,
eat. They ironed on Sunday
yeah,
evening the clothes for the children so that they've got, well, I did, ironed 5 shirts for each child,
yeah,
and the husband, because I did the ironing. And it's just, well, as you were speaking, I thought, well, we did a lot of things, and then eventually you end up with high blood pressure, um, diabetes, stroke,
mm.
some people.
Yes, yes,
And that's
yes,
because everybody else came first before
yeah,
her. She
yeah,
didn't even worry about it. The chicken smell is still in her hair, as she goes to bed at night,
yeah. My
because
gosh.
she does all that work. Think about it. And then I dare say back in the days that those men didn't know what pre-care making love was,
Yeah,
what the word making love was. Do you know what I mean? I've interviewed so many women. I really would like to do a book on older women and what they said that their partners did for them. It
yeah,
was so different in those times. There wasn't that lovey-doveyness. The things we asked for
yeah,
can be delivered. They,
yeah,
at that time, and children would think, oh, why is she so fussy, fussy?
yeah,
But she didn't get that self-care
yeah,
as
yeah.
as
And
we, you know.
and it's funny you said that, because this book that you're thinking of doing, where you want to ask, women of maybe my mom's generation, of, how did you say how their partners treated them, or the love and thing?
The question,
Because the
how do
reason
they
the
love
reason
themselves?
yeah, the reason why I'm asking that is because, funnily enough, I had a similar kind of conversation the other day where we were talking about, I can't remember who I was having a conversation with, to be honest, but we were talking about, that generation of parents and how they looked after their children, but and that's it. We were talking about love. Did your parents tell you that they loved you? Did they show any emotion? And that was something, time and time again, where people said no, that their parents didn't. And I don't know if it was due to their upbringing. Well, it was due to their upbringing, life pressures, coming to another country, having to deal with all of the different nuances that were happening in the UK, whether it was in the UK or it was in America. It was a challenging time for them. But also, did they get that affection and love as a child? You know, which was,
Yeah,
yeah, there you go. There you
yeah.
go.
They never
Yeah.
got it. They never got it. And they did show their love in the way, like you hear boys especially say, oh, my mum used to whip up a good
Mm,
and
yeah.
chickens, blah, blah, blah. And even in my age with the kid with my sons, I remember hearing my youngest son, his wife said one time, because he asked me to make my tuna the way that I do it.
Mm.
And so he's so spoiled. Boys always like their mums to do something the way that they do it,
Yeah.
and if she's tired, she'd put herself out to do 2 or 3 dishes, different people, different dishes. I just feel that, when did she remember to put on a face mask? What was a face mask to her? What was that? And do it. So she might have
Yeah.
soaked up if it was swollen, but did she go? Some people did, but not in the way that we did it. What's a
Yeah.
massage? They
Exactly.
would, they would sap their head with the lima cord or whatever it was, but they didn't. Whereas when it came to my generation,
Yes.
I know about self-care.
Mm.
I would not go to bed without, doing a 3-step facial. not
Yeah.
a facial like the big facial, but
Yeah.
you've got to tone, you've got to
Tone,
moisturize.
moisturize. Yes.
And if you forget about the tone, it's cleanse and moisturize.
Right. Yeah.
But you have to do that every day
Yes.
because that silly saying of black don't crack is not
Mm.
working anymore because it does. We do get wrinkles, we do get tired skin, we do get because the stuff is not in the foods that we eat
Yeah.
anymore.
Anymore? No.
So no, so you've got to find your own way of,
Yes.
whether it's boiling bay leaves. The other day I found out about boiling
Mm.
bay leaves and spraying my face with that because it's a good collagen. It contains
Mm. Now
and I
I didn't know that, so I might try that one.
try that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
The fact is that self-care is so important to
Mm.
massage your feet every night while you're sitting there watching whatever it is. For me at that time, it would have been Emmerdale or EastEnders or
EastEnders.
it's half an hour of time
Yeah.
that you could just have the coconut oil or the olive oil and put some lavender in it, just a little bit in a jar and sit there and rub the underneath of your feet, especially in the middle part of your
Mm-hmm.
feet. Moisturize, a massage helps to it helps you to relax, but at the same time it helps the blood to circulate.
Yeah. And the lymphatic is that drainage in it in the body of the lymphatic system, which is what we need to be doing every so often. And I was gonna ask you, what's like your weekly or daily practices, but I think you've said it. You've literally, just said all the things that you do to keep and help yourself.
Cleanse, tone, moisturize at night.
Yes.
In the morning when I get up, I do all the, stretches,
Stretching. Yeah.
sit and, cross my legs, yoga style, and stretch my back and stretch my foot because it's so hot where I am. Unless you're going to go on the road at 5 o'clock or go for a walk at 5:30 in the morning, it sometimes makes you lazy. So I do a lot of the
Mm.
stretches. And my most important thing is to make sure I have potassium and magnesium.
Mm.
Those two things, we don't have enough of it. And if
Yeah.
you can take, this is really important, you need to take your potassium and your magnesium. Make sure that they have vitamin K in there because it helps it to absorb properly into your blood system. Because
Yeah.
we're moving too fast,
Yeah.
and we don't have enough time to really just take a moment and rub your shoulders at night with
Mm.
lavender
Yeah.
or the spray that has magnesium in it to make those muscles less tight.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's my
Amazing. Yes, amazing, amazing. Great stuff.